Taiwan, our friends and loved ones. We treasure each of you. In 1999, a woman, Tsai Chi-wei, who worked at Mackay Hospital, sent a note to my father that I kept in my desk for many years. I think I've had it over 10 years, and it reads as follows, from the Bible, Matthew 25:40. The king will reply, I tell you, whenever you did this for one of the least important of these brothers of mine, you did it for me. Tsai Chi-wei then writes, I still have a vivid memory of what you have done 29 years ago in 1970 at Mackay Danshui Zhuwei Hospital. Each time, whenever the workers of the laundry section of Mackay pushed the laundry cart, you always gave them help on that occasion and let us enter the elevator first. We deeply appreciated your thoughtfulness and kindness. May God keep you in his hands. God has certainly kept my father in his hands. A few weeks ago, I asked my father if there was anything special that he would want me to say if given the opportunity. He told me to say that the greatest success of Changgong is only possible because of the great dedication and teamwork of all the doctors and staff. He was honored to be a part of this success. You should all be proud that Changgong is now a world leader in medicine. As we continue on in this life, we may remember Dr. Sam and follow his example. Remember to work as a team, put others before yourself, and know that sharing the knowledge of love will help make the world a better place. We should all help push the laundry cart for each other. Last time I saw my father, I told him I loved him and that I would see him in heaven. He could not speak, but he replied with the hand signal. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Now I would like to invite Anne to give speech.
我是内长的金头毛的台湾的第一个囡仔。我是罗慧夫的金头发的第一个台湾生的孩子。可是那我要说英文。One could say that my father had many identities in life: a plastic surgeon, a healer, a father, a husband, or even a tennis player or photographer. His most important identity, however, was that he was a child of God. As a plastic surgeon, my father did his best to encourage and improve the field of surgery. He is known in medical groups all over the world for his surgical techniques. You might not know it, but he said he would wake up in the middle of the night and write down surgical ideas that came to him. I Googled his name recently, and there were over 22,000 results, many of which were his videos, his writing, and his life work. He was a surgeon. My dad just didn't fix his patients, he cared for them. 40 years after surgery, one of his patients came to his funeral in Michigan from Maryland. She was appreciative of his surgical care. However, she wanted me to remember that when her surgery came, she was frightened. My father calmed her fears. He talked to her while walking into the operating room and touched her shoulder in comfort. His foundation was set up for the whole person, their medical needs, their social needs. He cared for all the people he met in Taiwan, not just his patients. My father was a healer. He was a husband to my mother Lucy for 63 years. It wasn't always perfect. They could argue loudly, but they always made up. They always forgave each other, no matter what the argument was about. He loved her and knew she loved him. He was a husband. Dr. Sam was also a father to me and my siblings. He worried about us and tried to teach us to pursue our passions. When we would go off to the States for college, our family would gather around us and pray for us. I knew that even after I left, he would still be praying for me, for my studies to go well, for me to find good friends, or a Taiwanese husband. He was my dad. My father was also a good friend, a tennis player, or a photographer. He listened to people, and he looked them in the eyes when they talked to him. He heard what they were going through. He prayed with them. He counseled them. He was their friend. He played tennis with anyone who would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He hiked and photographed the beautiful island of Taiwan. He loved the people of this amazing place, the people of Taiwan, dearly. Like my family has said before, Taiwan was his home. He was Taiwan's friend. But more than any of these identities, my father was a child of God. This is the only identity that matters. It will be the only identity that lasts. Everything that my dad did, he did for the glory of God and for the love that he had for his son, Jesus. Everything. He was a father because Jesus showed him how to love like a good father. He was a surgeon and a healer because the great physician guided him and gave him inspiration. He was a friend and a husband because Jesus loved him first and always. My father glorified God in his work, and now he is with God forever. I can hear my father speaking the words from the Bible in 2 Timothy 4. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness. Thank you.
Thank you. And please stay here. And also please. 我们现在请我们陈主委来代表医院致赠纪念品。李晨，谢谢。
那我们现场来宾，我们请起立。我们向罗院长的家属表达最深的谢意。那我们也请王董事长、陈主委以及家属，我们到外面的海报墙，我们合影留念，做今天的一个结尾。那也请翁董事、陈明玉主委以及魏院士，我们一起陪同。那其他来宾先暂时留在原位，谢谢。我们先请就座啊，稍后一下我们就离场。那家属可能会在这边海报墙前面停留一些时间，如果有要跟家属寒暄致意或是留念合影，都可以在外面。我们等一下就等到他们拍完合照之后，我们就可以过去。我们大会这边会再跟各位宣布，谢谢。